stinky asteroids and pirates. Extreme danger. I got the rebuilt transmission back. I actually painted it myself. Too bad the rebuilder didn't do something like that, but it's the old saying, chrome don't get you home. So yeah, appearance is second and functionality is first. I went ahead and painted it satin black with the dirty old trim clad or Rust-Oleum or whatever the frig it is there. And I feel like absolutely garbage. Hopefully I don't have that new bird flu. But anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and just friggin' give her. It can't be any worse than the first time I did it in the friggin' snowbank by myself. So, it's got a shift kit in it now, and it's got a Corvette Servo in it now. I'm just gonna go under here, and I'm gonna grab that rope, and I'm just gonna friggin' give her the dirty old yank. No garage, no hoist, no heat. Same as the first time, except for no snow. But I'm gonna see if I can't get that transmission in that car. Well, the fire turret is all back together and it works. And the speedometer started working again too. So that's cool. I was on my way home the other day and third and fourth were slipping so bad. They're just like pretty much like neutral. So I guess the transmission's got to be redone. It will run and drive in park, reverse, neutral, first and second. It will run and drive, but third and fourth are just pretty much gone. I've had a few people ask me what transmission I'm using. I'm using the 700R4. It does have this kick down cable, TV cable, throttle valve cable. So if they're not set up just right, you can burn out a transmission. But I did drive this one for a year with a Junkyard transmission, so a year's not bad, I guess, for a question mark transmission. But I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna give it another chance. So I'm either gonna replace it or rebuild it. If I get it rebuilt, I can probably get it built up, perhaps. She's a little greasy under here, but like I said, that's no big deal. That's just oil-based annual undercoating. She's pretty clean underneath. First thing I'm gonna do is pull the drive shaft. You can see I put a new U-joint in here a couple months ago, I guess it was. I took off the caps. There's 2 bolts here and caps on each side. Took those off. I put the car in neutral for a second, take the pressure off the drive shaft. I put the e-brake on so it doesn't go anywhere. And then I'll push away from the yoke, away from the pinion. And you can see it's coming. I'm just gonna be careful because I don't want it to drop out of this other cap here. So sometimes you gotta pry them out, sometimes they're stuck in there. I'm gonna pull this out, this drive shaft, and just make sure that the fluid lands in the pan. Okay. If you can, back towards me a little bit more, just in case. Well, I got the shifter cable undone, speedometer cable undone, drive shafts out. Undid all 3 bolts in the torque converter to the flywheel. What else? Unplugged the lockup wire. I think she's pretty much ready to go. All the bolts are out of it except for the top one, just to hold it. So we're gonna put the jack under the tranny, just support it a little bit and let it down slowly, I think. But she's coming out. It's not bad, but it's a little bit burnt. Well, there she is, sitting on the ground. We used the aluminum jack there to let it down. I left the kick down cable in it, but I disconnected the kick down cable up at the throttle. There. So the tranny's right here, loose. We just got to pull it back and pull it out the passenger side, I think. And the dipstick stayed there. It just pulled out. And I tried to minimize the amount of spillage. Well, there's a smiley face on there. There she is. I might paint it if I get it rebuilt. I'm thinking about getting it rebuilt. So, I don't know, maybe I'll paint it. This is the 91, the TPI Camaro kickdown cable. It's a little bit longer, which is perfect for the LS swap for my application, because the throttle body's way up at the front. And yeah, there she is. I have a special adapter, but it's a hub adapter to go from the older style torque converter to the LS engine. The LS engine has like a shorter crankshaft, slightly shorter. So that's still on the torque converter, but anyway, there it is. So it just came back from the rebuilder. It's supposed to be all rebuilt now with the shift kit, and I believe he put a Corvette Servo in it as well. I put a little love letter on there for the rebuilder guy. I put the smiley face on here back in 2018 or 19 when I put this in. And then 2020 I put a sad face when I blew it up. I might actually paint it now that it's rebuilt. But I'm sort of itching to put it back in the car. Gasoline and paintbrush. And if there's any greasy spots, this is good, cheap degreaser. And yeah, gasoline works pretty good for a cheap degreaser. Just don't light a cigarette or anything for a few minutes. It will evaporate pretty quickly though, which is good. So I'm just gonna degrease it. I took the wire brush and brushed off some spots. I need to do a little more on this side, but I'm just gonna do a quick, clean it up quickly. I'm not gonna take all day. And then I'm gonna go ahead and paint it. Probably black. I think I have some black paint. So just a quick tip: gasoline, paintbrush, cheap, easy degreaser. Stinky, asteroids, and pirates. Extreme danger. Well, that's not bad, I guess, for the first coat, or for one coat. There's some spots that aren't perfect, but I'm not too worried about the cosmetics or the appearance. It's the old saying, chrome don't get you home. So yeah, appearance is second and functionality is first. Okay, it's Friday and I got the rebuilt transmission back. I actually painted it myself. Too bad the rebuilder didn't do something like that, but I went ahead and painted it satin black with the dirty old trim clad or Rust-Oleum or whatever the frig it is there. And I feel like absolutely garbage. Hopefully I don't have that new bird flu. But anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and just friggin' give her. It can't be any worse than the first time I did it in the friggin' snowbank by myself. So, it's got a shift kit in it now, and it's got a Corvette Servo in it now. That should help the shifts and should be a lot less slipping.
minimize the slipping for maximize the longevity. And I wrapped a friggin' rope around it. I got the dirty old friggin' bird box here up on stilts. I'm just gonna go under here and I'm gonna grab that rope and I'm just gonna friggin' give her the dirty old yank. No garage, no hoist, no heat, same as the first time except for no snow. But I'm gonna see if I can't get that transmission in that car. I put the TV cable in there and I jammed a rubber hose in here. I made sure there was no dirt in it. I know it looks dirty. Just to stop anything while I'm under the car, stop anything from getting inside there. I think she's bone dry, so I got some fluids so I can hydrate her there when she's ready. Friggin' neighbor's dogs making whole friggin' way too many rackets. Anywho, I'm just gonna drag her under there with the dirty old lasso, and I'll stick the torque converter majigger in there later because that'll just make it heavier. Well, I managed to get her that far by myself. Now I need to get the torque converter in it, put it up on a jack or something, and get it up in there somehow. Yeah, good times. Well, she's looking pretty sketchy, but I think I'm making progress. What a friggin' ordeal. Oh my goodness. Wow, is she ever greasy under here? I swear by that annual oil-based rust proofing. I swear by that stuff. Well, she's all lined up and in there. I just gotta put in one more bolt in the bell housing. I'm gonna do the torque converter bolts next. And I'm gonna put a little bit of Loctite on them. I'm gonna do the dipstick and put a little bit of silicone on it this time maybe. I never had any leaking problems with it before, I don't think. The double O-rings are kind of good, but they do go in and out really easy when I put the dipstick in or when I pulled it out. So yeah, there's not much left. I'm just buttoning up the little things. I just got to put bolts in the torque arm, the traction bar torque arm, and the drive shaft, and plug in some wires. There's not too much left here. How you doing, buddy? Are you upside down? You're a weirdo. Well, I'm putting some fluids to her. And wow, this flexible transmission dipstick works good for fitment, but it's really slow going, so I wrapped a friggin' rag around it in case it sometimes it drips. There's a tight fitting here, sometimes it drips. So it came with this adapter to fill it up. Anywho, that's my apparatus there. Look at all the different friggin' fluids she drank. Oh my goodness. So I got 6 liters of the generic stuff, and then another 5 liters of the Pennzoil Platinum synthetic. Wow, that's like 11 liters. That's a lot of fluids she took, but I think she's ready. Big lazy buddy today. Big lazy boy. I think he knows that the muscle car is gonna take off. Well, the fire turret is all back together and it works. And the speedometer started working again too. So that's cool.